Assalamu alaikum to all the students out there. How are you all? Today we are going to study English subject for class 6, unit-2, the kite. The Kite. This poem is written by Harry Ban. In this poem, the poet has drawn a beautiful picture of the flying kite through words in this poem. We all love to see flying kites but never noticed how it flies. Through this beautiful word picture of a flying kite, the poet is just persuading the readers to fly one and notice its beautiful moves. So, my dear students, in this poem, as we read the introduction, we understand that the poet is trying to express his innate emotions regarding the flying kite. We all have seen the flying kite and we all have noticed how it flies. But the way the poet is trying to express these all the feelings in these beautiful words is what makes it really very amazing. So we'll read this poem and understand what the poet is trying to say. The Kite. Before we begin with the poem, let us have a quick summary of the kite. In the clear sky means when there are no clouds, a kite will look bright in it. It will be clearly noticeable. The kite hurls, and with every wag, its tail produces a cracking sound. Then, while flying, all of a sudden, the kite goes high up in the air on the top, just like a ship goes up and down on the crest of waves with a sailcloth. It moves forward when the wind is strong, but as the wind falls, it seems as if it is also taking a rest for a while in the air. Sometimes the thread tied to the kite loosens. The flyer tries to roll the thread and runs till a new breeze, that is air, fill its wings. A kite really looks bright on a clear sky, but when it gets stuck on a treetop, it gets torn and gives a poor look. So, my dear students, you'll be able to understand the summary more nicely by reading the poem and understanding its meaning. So let us quickly move forward towards its stanza 1. The first stanza of the poem says, "How bright on the blue is a kite when it's new. With a dive and a dip, it snaps its tail." So here the poet is saying how bright on the blue. Here the blue is the color of the sky, is a kite when it's new. It said that the kite looks very bright on a clear sky. With a dive and a dip, it snaps its tail. Here dive and a dip means to go into water with a force and softness together. So it's an amalgamation of force and softness together. It snaps its tail. That means when it goes up in the air, its tail makes snap sound, that is cracking sound. So here the poet is trying to say a kite looks bright on a clear sky when it flies for the first time. It moves with softness and force together at the same time. To fly makes its tail to create a cracking sound in the air. So here we can understand that when we are trying to fly a kite, these are all the things coming up in mind, and we can imagine how the experience is to fly a kite in the sky. Let us move towards the second stanza of the poem. Then soars like a ship with only a sail, As over tides of wind it rides, climbs to the crest of a gust and pulls, then seems to rest as wind falls. So here the poet is saying, then soars like a ship. Soars mean it fly high as a ship with only a sail, as over tides of wind it rides. Climbs to the crest of a gust and pulls, then seems to rest as wind falls. So here the meaning of tides is rising and falling waves. Crest, that means mountain top, that is the peak of the mountain, or a tuft of feathers on the head of a bird or animal. So here in this stanza, the poet is saying that such moves help it to flow in the sky, just waves rising and falling with the sudden blow of the winds. It goes up to the highest point in the sky in a very manner that a way a ship moves on the ocean. So here the flying of a kite, its moves is compared with the ship which moves up and down as the tides in the ocean rises up and down. But as soon as the wind slows down, it seems as if it has stopped there to rest. Just as the tide of the ocean slows down, the wind slows down, the ship is seem to be resting. Similarly, up in the sky, the flying kite takes a rest when the wind slows down. So here the flying kite is compared with the ship sailing in the ocean. That is it for today, students. So I'll request you to write down the title of the poem along with its poet, and then write down the stanza and its meaning. We'll discuss the remaining part of the poem in our next video. Till that, I hope you all will learn and speak in English at home.